Alright guys, we're at Ashland County Memorial Gardens, and we are going to go ahead and do the drive-through part of the video to show you how big the gardens are and show you each garden. And yeah, so this is to show you why I can't cover the whole excuse me, the whole garden, just that I'm not able to with being sick and not feeling well. But yeah, we're gonna see what we can see of it though. I'm gonna show you now, but here we go guys. Well, if I put it in gear and we go, but I'm gonna go slow enough so you guys can see. As you can see, there's a pretty good sized place, and I'm traveling about 5 miles per hour just to show you. You see how big M yard is. And there's Johnson. There's some of the names. I'll try to read you some of the names. Johnson, Steve All, what I can see of them. The grass is a little high because they're not done mowing yet, guys. They are working on it, and they were down here weed eating and blowing each marker off. So they do that here. So that was pretty good. There's a big Bible in the middle. That's the one we read. The Lord's Prayer. But you can see there's a lot of markers in there. And this is just the one little garden we're going up now. This is all one garden. And I'll take you down each one and show you. There's Walker. We've seen that name in many cemeteries. And see, these are some of them low in the ground. You can tell which ones are newer because they left them higher. But the ones that's been in the ground for a while, you can tell how they're sunk down. See how they're laying way down in there. There's a new grave, so we'll try to not slow down too much right on it. I don't like to get no new graves. But this is all one garden, guys. From down at the mausoleum, where you see the mausoleum, this is all one garden. That's sometimes bigger than most of the cemeteries I cover. Okay. I'll show you this side of it, then we'll turn around and I'll show you the other side of it. Then we'll come back around the other way. And it looks like they keep the bushes and trimmed and stuff. As long as it'll fit in the vase, you're allowed to have it, but I don't think you're allowed nothing outside the vase here. I don't know the rules exactly, but it looks to me like that's why they went with them kind of markers, so everybody would put their stuff inside the marker. But this is all one garden, guys. It's a pretty decent place. This is where I wanted my dad to come and get buried. But I think he's going to go to Savannah, Ohio, and be buried. But you can tell quite a few people has visited this cemetery. Some of the flowers are getting wore. They've been here for a while. Could have been all summer. Could have been 20 years. You never know. But this is the first garden. We're coming to the end of it. Right here. This is the Garden of the 10 Commandments. Alright, let's go to the next garden. Well, we'll show you around the front first. We'll go ahead and we'll go around this other garden. Since we're already heading this way, instead of turning around going back. We'll have to turn around too, but not at the moment. Okay, this is the front entrance coming in. right. Then we're going to go around this way and show you the front. This is the front of the office area. That's the office parking lot where they have funerals and office people work. All right, we're going to ease on up through here now. And this is more area they got to bury too. I'm gonna rest my arm up beside that car like this, guys. If I drop the camera, y'all know I dropped the camera. I'm sorry. Try to keep it out of the wind so it ain't so windy. You can hear me. Because of me being in horsed and stuff, I can't hardly talk. I ain't felt good today at all, but I wanted to do a little bit today. I was asked about, because I asked if anybody wanted to see these kind of markers, and they said they did. So that's why I did this. It looks like they're getting that ready for a family or something, that area. That's the back of the office. See all the field they got on this side too. This is all still open area too. Be buried in. I'm not sure what the garden name is. I won't know till we get up here to the slide. If it has one. Some of it may not have been named yet. Try to go slow enough where you guys can see. They've got something over there. It's one of the statue things, but I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what that says on it. It says something on it, but I can't remember. This is the garden right here. And they do allow like little miniature mausoleums, because that's what that is right over here, is a miniature mausoleum right here for a family. I believe it's a miniature mausoleum for a family right there. Not very nice. This is the Masonic Garden right here. The Masonic Garden. Alright, that's the Masonic Garden. Back here is where they keep extra dirt and extra gravel for putting around the headstones when they set the stones. I think they put not the headstones, but the markers. They put a layer of stone underneath them so they don't settle as much nowadays. Is how they do it. Alright, we're going to come on around. And then I'll turn around and show you around. Well, I need to show you the other side of that one garden first, so we don't forget where we're at. This back here, this is the maintenance department where they keep the digger for the graves and the backhoe and the lawnmowers and all that. They keep them in that shop. They got a very nice shop. They've got parking for the employees right back here. Back there's some extra dirt to fill in the graves. They've got extra dirt. That there's to keep the driveway leveled out so it ain't rough and beating your car to death and get potholes in the gravel driveway. This is a farmer's field that joins it back here in the back. Farmer's field. I don't know if they're planning on burying anybody in this side of the road or not, because there's really not much room. It's a lot of trees and a lot of stumps. So I don't know if they'll use this little area right in here or not. That would probably remain just a drive with trees, I would say, if I was a guessing man. But you never know. People do things you never know they'll do, so I don't know. We're going to come to the outside of the one garden we was in. We're going to be coming around to it. But this is another garden here. And see, they did use some of it back in here, so I don't know. They may come on back. I don't know. But it goes out through yonder. That's what I'm saying. This is a humongous place. It goes way over there to them trees. There's some over in the corner over there buried, if you see them way over there. All right, this is all one big garden. I don't know if they'll divide this garden or not. I have no idea. It does have an American flag out there. If you see it standing there out on a pole. But all this you'd have to walk. See there over there in the corner, it goes the whole way to them woods. And then it's got a row of some kind of green shrubbery trees planted down through there the whole way down. We're going to ease on down through here. See, that's a lot of mowing. I don't understand what these guys mowing. They got a lot of mowing to do. But they seem like they do a good job mowing and blowing it off, so I'll give them credit. Because they was all working hard when I got here. There wasn't nobody being lazy. But this is all that field I was telling you they had open still to still bury people in. It'll go down to the mausoleum, and that's where we want to come to. We're coming on the back side of that one area that we was at, so we're going to come right down through here. That is the Garden of Valor. So all this is the Garden of Valor right here. All this big old area. That's a lot of area, ain't it, guys? You put a lot of people buried them in there. I know the year when I worked for the cemetery in Tennessee, that 1 year alone, we buried 249 people in 1 year. That's a lot of deaths, especially when you're doing funerals and stuff. And I worked majority of them, you know. So I quit after we buried that I think it was 8 or 9 year old kid. Look how big that tree is, guys. It lost a big branch too from the storms probably. We had some bad storms about a month ago. Anyways, we're coming down to the back side of the one garden, the first garden I showed you. We're coming down the back side of it. So I will have showed you the whole way around this one garden so far. We're back at the mausoleum. Right here's the mausoleum, guys. That's a pretty good sized mausoleum too. It's not no small, little tiny one. Alright, now we're going to come up to the next garden, which is going to be right across from this garden. We're going to turn here and go right up this garden. We're going to go right up through here. This is going to be our next garden right here. And it's got a lot of graves in it too. And we're going to ease on up through this one. And they've had a few burials, it looks like. But if you come to this cemetery, they recommend you stay off the grass and stay in the road so you don't run into anybody's grave. Because some of the graves years ago was not buried in vaults and stuff. They were buried in pine caskets. And if you run into a pine casket grave that's been buried for a while, you're going to end up inside the grave. I know years ago we used to have to dig graves. Occasionally they didn't have it marked good, and they would run the tractor off in the graves, and we'd have to get the tractor out of the graves. There you have Jesus standing out in the middle of the garden. Right there, statue. Very nice. Alright, we're going to ease up a little bit. Been talking and rattling my jaws and not driving. Now we're going to go around this little garden, and I'll show you how big this garden is. This is one side of it. Now we're going to go up around it. And they have the drive fixed too. It's not rough or nothing like that. It's really well taken care of here. I would say these guys do a fantastic job overall. And you know me, if I'm going to say something positive about them, it better be positive, because I'm not going to say it if it ain't. Alright, now we're going to go down the other side of the garden. Right here. This is the back side of the garden we just come up. There's a newly grave buried there. We have a bunch of veterans buried right in through here, it looks like. Alright guys, I'm going to get a little more speedier. I'd like to get this done in one video. But I wanted you to see how big this place really is. It's not a small cemetery. For sure. Alright. And I don't know what garden that was. I didn't see on a sign what garden that was. So I'm going to turn right here. I'm going to go back up. It may be on this little wooden plaque right here. Let's see if it says. Yeah, it's the garden of what? Christus? So that's the garden of Christus. Alright. I think we're missing the road. Hold on a minute, guys. I'm missing the road. I don't want to run in the grass. We don't want to run over this office sign either. That would not be good. Alright, here's our next garden. We're going to go beside, which is on the other side of the garden we just done. There's 3 major big gardens. And this is one of them right here coming up. There's our next garden. This is the garden of prayer. The garden of prayer. And see, there's a lot of people buried in this one. A lot of graves in this one. And we done some stones out of this one. I'm going to go a little faster so you guys can see more. And it does have, like I said, it's got the Lord's Prayer on that over there. And that's another one. This is the second Lord's Prayer that's in this cemetery. And they got part of this mowed, and part of it they didn't get mowed yet. But they'll be working on it tomorrow. Dude was shocked that I brought him the blower. He said that goes a long ways with me. I said, buddy, I wouldn't steal your stuff. And I wouldn't want no one else to steal it either, especially when you guys are taking care of the cemetery. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? I don't want no one to steal no blower. I wouldn't steal it anyways. I don't steal. But here's this garden though. And see, when they get it mowed, it looks real good. It looks pretty good. They've not got the blowed off yet, but they're working at it. You give them credit when they're working at something, but when they sit there and you come in and it looks like a cyclone and nobody's working to make it better, then you say something about it. But I mean, these guys are doing a great job. But yeah, you can see a lot of these have been visited. That's what's nice about it. I like seeing all the flowers and seeing that they've been visited. But by the time they get it mowed, it looks like that right there, and that looks really nice. But see, the grass right here, the way the grass has been growing, in a week's time it can look like this where it's not mowed. That's the way mine does at my house. In a week's time it looks like it ain't been cut in a week or two, but it's only been a week. They probably mow once a week, probably start every Monday, and probably takes them 2 or 3 days to get it all mowed and weeded. It used to do me that way when I worked at the cemetery. We'd cut grass and we'd spend Monday to about Wednesday mowing the yard off, and then after that, then we would be, digging graves and burying people. Well, we would, in between it too, we had to quit the mowing to do the graves. But let me make sure that car's not moving yet. No, it's not moving. So we can go back up through here. Now we done seen this garden, so I'm not going to slow down in it. I'm going to speed up a little bit so I can show you the next garden, guys. So we're going to speed up a little bit. This is a pretty good sized place. I don't know how many graves is in this overall, though. I didn't look it up. I may look it up and put it in the description when I get done. But right offhand, I have no idea. I'm going to say quite a few. Alright, this is the garden of... I missed it. I can't pronounce that, but there it is. The garden of whatever that says. Alright, here we go. We're going up this garden now. And even up in here, even towards the back, there's some that ain't been visited, but quite a few's been visited. But you can see here, I mean, it's not just pieces of it's taken care of. I mean, they seem like they're taking care of the whole place. And this garden's the one that goes on the other side of around the shop area. We may go over to 30 for just a little bit, guys. See, this is a beautiful cemetery overall. It's definitely flat. There ain't no hills and mountains and stuff. This is a pretty good sized garden. See this whole big place, see down through there, all that's the cemetery. It's all, everywhere you see down here's the cemetery. That's a big cemetery, guys. See, we're coming still on the back side of the garden that we was on, that I was showing you. The garden of I don't know its name. That we're still in that garden I'm showing you. And I sped up now to 10 miles per hour so we can try to get it all in the video. Oh man, I wish I felt better, guys. I'd like to walk some more of it though, but I just ain't able today. Alright, now we're going to come up the little side road. This is the back side of the garden that where it was half mowed and half not. We're on the other side in the same garden though I'm showing you right here. Alright. And then we're going to have to get this garden just in a few minutes. That gentleman's visiting, so we're not going to bother nobody visiting. So we'll go up the back side of the garden to where the extra space is. This is the veterans garden. That's the one where all the veterans are. We'll go up it in a few minutes. But right here now we're going to go up the garden next to it. This is going to be the back side of the garden with all the extra space. This is Sermon on the Mount. Okay, we're going to do this garden now, guys. This is on the back side of the garden that went over to the woods. I'll just say it that way. So we're going to drive down through here. Yeah, they got some room left in this one still to bury. But where you see that little open hose, somebody's in there. They just ain't got their balls up. They're supposed to close the vases and put them down when they don't have any flowers in them. Now, do they do it all the time? No, because they used to break vases off where I used to work all the time because they wouldn't put them down. And the mower people were supposed to look out for them. And we had a couple younger boys that worked for us and with us. They were summer help, and they didn't care. They just fly through there and break them, and we'd have to fix them. So we had a never-ending supply of stashed of vases to replace the vases when they broke them. Because that bronze bronze markers are not cheap. Bronze markers are very expensive. Oh, that's cute. See that flower thing there? Look at that one. With the pink and the yellow and the green. That's pretty cool. And the purple. That's pretty cool. And orange. We got orange. 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 However you pronounce it. Alright guys, I don't think he's going to end it anytime soon. I think he's looking for somebody's grave, so we're just going to, may have to skip it and just go down one side of it, guys. I don't want to interrupt the guy looking for somebody. So we're going to just probably come down one side of that one and be done with it. So we'll show you one side of it, and we'll do this one side of it. Because you guys can see where it goes to right there. Well, there's one with some pictures hanging on it. Well, that's cool. I never seen nobody do that. Hang pictures on it. We was in that area and I didn't even see that. Huh. Oh, no, we wasn't either. We done the other garden. That's pretty cool. I don't know that last name. And I did order some flags today for the veterans' grave that's up in that one cemetery where the 14 Revolution War veterans was. I will be going back up there and putting flags out on their stones. But they won't be into the 20th of this month. Them jewels are expensive. $54 for 24 flags. But every veteran ought to have a flag at least. But we're going to come down this one side of this garden since this gentleman's over here. And we're going to just look at one side of it. It does have the cross up there with the helmet and the gun resting up there next to it. I don't know if you can see it. That's what's up there. Very cool. But this is the Garden of Veterans. This is where they bury most of the veterans at. So this guy's out here looking for, he got a metal detector. That's ridiculous. Why would you do that in a cemetery? That's awful. But this is the veterans garden right here, guys. This is where they bury most of the veterans. Yeah, that's where they bury most of the veterans right here, guys. And then it does have the American flag up, although it should have been half-mast all day today, and they got it raised up the whole way, and I argued with them about that one, and they said they don't lower it for victims of the 9/11, they lower it just for the military. So I was kind of displeased with that, but overall, this cemetery does a great job. But this is all veterans. All wars and all veterans. So there they are. Alright guys, this is the end of the gardens right here. And this is the whole cemetery that you've seen. It did take almost 30 minutes to do drive-through here. But I wanted you just to see the whole garden. And they do have trash set up where you can put trash if you have old flowers and stuff to put in there. Just throw it in the trash. And yeah, this is it. Here's a view of it down front coming up. Major highway coming through there. That's Highway 250. Very busy highway. And there's Jesus. Because if you travel that road, you may need Jesus. I'm just kidding. Anyways, guys, I'm going to let you go. Please share, like, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you watching, and peace. We're out of here.